All right, everybody. It is time for today's stream. I hope you guys all had an absolutely wonderful weekend. I know I had a good weekend myself. I was hanging out with Havoc, so it's always a good time. We are going to be finishing up Luke Talks their OC today. Sorry, I'm like a minute or two late here. I lost track of time, so let me get you guys popped out here so I can see everything you're saying. You're super saying. Hey, Pensy, how's it going? Are you feeling any better today? Let's see if I can make sure. See if you guys can hear this music or not. Still sick? That's no good. I'm sorry. That is no good. I don't like it. I don't like when Pensy doesn't feel well. Trying to make sure that the music's going through here. Maybe if I put it in the app jam, it'll pop up. And then we'll get rolling. There we go. Oh, it's really loud. Oh, okay. Let me turn it down. Sorry. My bad. Is that better? I don't want to blow out anybody's eardrums here. Rocking out to my jams. My jammy jams. All right, let's get over here so we can start working on it. So I did some work on it off stream as well, so I've made some progress here. You know, I kind of wanted to get these done like relatively quickly because I want to open a raffle. Oh, now you can't hear it at all. Okay. So many issues, so much scuff. I'm gonna put it like maybe like right here, and then hopefully that's good. Oh, I'm so excited, by the way. I hit the 50 followers that I need for the affiliate program, which is amazing. That means I'll be able to bring you guys much better content. I just have to wait on Twitch to send me the official invite, and I'll be able to have like emotes and all sorts of like fun stuff. A little loud, but oh, okay. I'm sorry. It's still a little loud, so we'll do maybe about, we'll put it like here maybe. I know it's got to be rough for people like wearing like headphones, like, you know, like I said, I'm not trying to damage anybody's eardrums here. So thank you, Betsy. I appreciate it. All right. Hell yeah. Let's see. So I mostly needed the hair, the hands, the eyes, and the lips, and then any of the final touches we're going to do here. But what I was saying is, once I finish this this OC up, I'm going to open it up as a raffle to make sure that everybody gets a chance to have an illustration for their OC on my Monday streams. So I will be creating one after I finish this illustration up. I've just been hella tired lately. Like, I literally have been like taking a nap like every single time after stream lately, and that's kind of rough. So I'm just like, man. Upper hand skin base. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So let's put this in its own folder. And let's make sure that I label it so I can find it when I need it to. There we go. So now when I work on stuff, it'll just be isolated on these hands here. My mortal nemesis, hands. The nemesis of all artists everywhere. And I actually got a bunch of hand references, so I'm going to go ahead and open those. And hopefully that'll make things much easier for me to navigate the wild world of hands. So let's see. Find some that are like kind of similar. Oh my god, my mouse keeps like drifting here. So I kind of want... I guess I should do like their basic shading and then do like the lighting shading on top of it. It's probably the best way to go. That way the form is like, you know, in there, and then after that we can worry about lighting after that. So let me find one that has at least like, you know, kind of like how the hands will look. So that's pretty close. It's just so crazy that it's just so challenging to do freaking hands. Like, I don't know. This is wild. Like, every single artist like struggles with it. So I don't feel bad about like not being necessarily very good at it, but you know, we're gonna do our best to try to get better. Let's see. So I actually need to, if I'm gonna start with these hands at the top, I need to find a reference that has the top of the hands, like the palm. Oh, you know what? I didn't save all my references. That's why. I was like, I know I have more references for this. So let me get them in there real quick. I was trying to hop on Pinterest too, like really fast before stream, and that's why I was also like, you know, a minute or two late here. Like, you know, you go down the Pinterest rabbit hole and lose track of time, and you know, what is time anyway, right? I'm actually going to leave Pinterest open in case I need to find some other ones. My allergies are still kicking my ass, by the way, so I'm sorry. I'm going to be gunky and clunky for a while as far as my voice goes. All right, let's see. That one, that one, that one. These will get me kind of a better idea here. I kind of hate that when I'm looking for references, it's like, you know, they're always like white people, you know? It's very biased. Okay, so am I on the right layer? I am not on the right layer. There we go. So if I can take this and spin it around, actually let's flip it first and then spin it. Then we'll get like kind of that, whoa, zoom way the hell in. There we go. All right. So there's some shadow here. It looks like a lot of this shadows for this are kind of like triangles almost. So we're gonna do like this kind of shading first, just around like the edges here. And We're gonna make this brush a little bit smaller. And then it kind of goes like that. And then we're going to take into account that these like thumbs, like the fingers are bent down a little bit here at the bottom. Even though my light source is going to be from like the bottom here. We're going to, I'm pretty sure, have other references where it's like darker as it's curved that way. So do that, and we're going to make it a little bit smaller for where like the tendons kind of are. And then we've got some triangles here. So that in there, like that. And then just real light on that side there. It's a pretty good start. At least for that one. And let me go to my other references for all these like almost kind of spider-like poses for like the fingers. I think the problem is I got some of these references like thinking about the lighting scheme that I was going to go for, but that's all right. We can work with it. We'll adjust it to the lighting scheme eventually. Actually, you know what? This will be a little lighter up in this area. And then it kind of gets darker as it gets towards the palm. So we're going to section this off. So down here, it'll be a lot darker. Not that dark, but it's going to be a lot darker. So it'll be kind of like a triangle going that way a little bit. Then we have a little bit for the knuckles here. Like that. And it's kind of like almost like a rounded off. Kind of like that. It's probably too much detail, but oh well. This layer is going to be a lot lighter in a minute. It's kind of like that. As it gets like closer here, then we kind of want to keep up like the whole like triangle thing. I think is the best way to rock with in between the fingers. Seems to be the shape we're going for here. And the palm's going to be dark because it's closer to the hair. The problem is that the lighting on my references is very different from the lighting in the actual image I'm working on, but that's okay. We'll make it work. As long as they eventually look like fingers here, then we're Gucci. So it's like flip it here. And there's kind of like that. A little rounded there. Do like our triangles here. And then put like kind of like triangle there. And a little bit down here. Excuse me. All right, so let's get like the triangles here, and then they're gonna kind of come down. They're gonna come together, kind of like that. It's like our other reference. We're gonna do that. And that one's going to be covered kind of a little bit by this. So we're going to kind of do this number here and block it off. We'll do like a triangle there. Count how many times Aniki says triangle today. Be like a children's program or something. Block that out. That. What's nice is as you get like more familiar with like the shape shadows, it like kind of starts to flow a little bit better. So if we took this and flipped it like this, I can get kind of an idea of what's going on here. So we kind of like that, and then a little bit lighter. And there's like kind of like almost like a triangle here. That. And we have where like the kind of knuckle is there. Luckily, this is also like a stylized image too, so we're not too terribly worried about realism here. Let's see. Maybe find another reference. I'm gonna use a lot of them. It's always good to like have several different references to look at instead of just relying on one the whole time. I'm super glad I found all these references that have like really dynamic, like up close to the screen, like hands, because that's something I want to like work on, like coming up, especially like with the webtoon and everything. Have like really really cool like like action, or like when they're using magic, or for like covers to like chapters and whatnot. Like these are super dynamic, which is amazing. Okay, let's see. So the fingers are kind of curled over a little bit. So I want to find, that's kind of similar here. We don't want to make them like super manly like this because like, it's a female character. So, but it still gives me an idea. So yeah, we're just going to keep up our triangles here where the fingers like connect. Kind of triangular, I guess, is the way I should put it. I don't know. Kind of like that. Now we could do that. That. And these are coming forward. A minute ago, what do you mean? What do you mean? Now, I don't like Justin Bieber, but I do like this song, especially because it's a cover. People complaining. Well, I guess they are Justin Bieber's lyrics, so I don't know. Try not to be a hater. All right, that's pretty good for the soft light, soft shadows. And then we'll bring it back up. Linear burn. Now we do like the hard shadows, which is the fun stuff. So I like to use my lasso tool. And this is a little stylized, so we're just going to kind of have places where let's go back to putting our like kind of triangle shapes here. Kind of like that. Hopefully this actually works the way I want it to. We could always manipulate this too with like our really cool smudge brush that we have. I really like these Mark Burnett brushes I started using. If you guys want to learn how to do artwork just like through YouTube, definitely 100% check out his videos. I found out his little like art school program that he has, like his online art thing, is only like $300 some right now, which is hella cheap. Not sponsored, of course, but definitely would recommend. I picked up one part of them at one point just because I had like, I had a little bit of extra cash laying around because you can buy like the individual like courses too, and it was pretty good. Especially since he's worked in like the game industry and whatnot. That was like my original art goal, was to like make artwork for video games. I don't know what it is about Mondays, but I'm always like so much like more low energy than I normally am for like other parts of the week. And it's not like I have like a 9 to 5 or anything right now either, so I can't blame that. I don't know, just some sort of like something about the transition from like the weekend to the weekday is rough every single time. I don't know if it's just like a placebo thing. I wonder if the singer for the band that wrote this song grew up in the '80s for like with like the Crossfire commercial. You'll get caught up in the crossfire. The classic ass commercial, so ridiculous. Yeah. Definitely can't hit like the super hellacious high notes to the in that. Uh, have the shadowing from the hair here. We'll have it kind of mix into there. And we'll bring this up more like that. That looks a little closer. Oops, help if I was on the right brush again. And it looks kind of wild, so we're going to blend some of this out actually. Crusaders. Displaying. He'll take his fist at time, punch right through the page. This was like my least favorite JoJo's Bizarre Adventure season, but I still like the songs. The songs are bangers. It's just so good. I saw that they finally announced the anime adaptation for the new one, Steel Ball Run. So I'm like, yes, more JoJo in my life. I need it. I need the utter ridiculousness to get through the days. Definitely one of the anime I like to watch when I'm having like, you know, having a rough day. Russia will seem to use happily fell slaying the evil snake. We're alive. It's searching. We're gonna have the shadow from that finger kind of coming across here. That. And a race on the run. Oh, we should have the shadow for this upper finger here. So she hates generation pridefully. Better race, better road till the story's begun. I am only waiting for the finish. Crusaders. I'll take his fist and I'll punch right through the page. We can kind of smudge out some areas here a little bit. Make it look more like some shadowing. I'll take his fist and I'll punch right through the page. In the memory of that blood. No, don't close. It's not what I want. Not at all. I totally forgot I had a metal cover of Phantom of the Opera. No, that's not what I want. I want to add. Trees, stop. Why you do this to me? I like nature, but nature doesn't like me. I just want to be friends. Ooh, I still have coffee. Yeah. Totally should have thrown another scoop of espresso in here. Definitely needed it to survive the Monday vibes. Got a secret. I don't think it can ever really change. I can do nothing but blind. I was working more on my webtoon character Val, and I was like messing with the rendering, and I kind of found like this cool technique of where I was doing the shadows like this, where I was using the lasso tool and then kind of putting like a Terminator like in the shadows themselves, and it was looking really nice. So I've been trying to like adopt that now into like my art style. I'm like, it's always cool to like play around and figure out like new techniques that have like unexpected results. So yeah, just something about like the variation in the like the shadows with it, like just turns out like super nice, aesthetically pleasing. And I forgot to put more shadow under here. We're actually going to make that nice and solid there. And then we can kind of do this number here where it's not quite as close to the finger. There we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually need right here too with that shadow. But we're eventually going to take all this rendering and put it like over top of the line. So want to. Don't care if it hurt. Yeah. I gotta kind of remember that it's going to be over the lines too when as I work on the shading here. Remember this is a little rounded. Ooh, almost done with the shadows. Triangle there. Let's actually get our like kind of triangular shapes out of the way, because I might forget. Might start hitting a flow that doesn't like quite exactly go with, you know, how things actually are. I have a bad tendency to do that. I'm like, ooh, this looks cool, and it's like not right. I just keep rolling with it, and then at the end I'm like, fuck, why did I continue that? Why am I like this? I think it's part of like ADHD is like a little difficult to be like to maintain like consistency in what you're doing, because your brain gets like distracted super easy, and it's like, ooh, shiny thing that I like. What was I doing again? I think the best way I've seen like ADHD described is like walking into a room and then been like, why did I even come into this room? But it's with like everything you do. It's like, yeah, that's pretty damn accurate. I'm like, that is scarily accurate to how I end up with just everything in life. I swear it's like diet Alzheimer's or something. Like, or like dementia. Which is kind of scary to think about actually. So you know what? Let's not speak that into existence. Jinx herself before we're even that age. Heavenly. Legacy is coming. Oh yeah. I talked to Alex earlier. He's got an appointment with like his daughter. Thanks for I really appreciate you like messaging people to like remind them that I'm live. Like that's super helpful. I really appreciate it, Pensy. Yeah, because I also sent him a message about the same message I sent you yesterday. So we were talking about that for a bit. Yeah. Alex is a busy dude. He's like, you know, not only does he like crush an artwork on the regular, he's like being like super dad. So I wish Alex was my dad. I would have had a much better childhood. It's like joking, not joking. Can you adopt me, Alex? Like, I don't know. I really don't know. I know there's like got to be something like when you become a father, like that, you know, just allows your body to push past its like limits or something. There's got to be because, like, you know, I'm just a cat dad, and even that's exhausting. My kitty constantly lying to me about his food bowl and his treats situations. That's stressful enough. Like, did I feed the cat today? I did. He's lying to me. How dare he? It's like, no, you can't just eat cookies all day. But his daughter is so cute. Like every time he tells me about like his family, I'm just like, you have the most adorable family. Yeah, I experience burnout like really fast, especially when it comes to like working on like art projects and stuff. So I have to give myself like constant breaks and like take naps and do all this good stuff to recharge. I'm also not young, so you know, there's that factor. You boys got some mileage on them. Wanted to be the king. I swear. Yeah, I have a very rough relationship with my family as well. It makes me really sad. Luckily, Havoc's family treats me really, really well, so I have adopted them as my true family. And of course, you guys. You guys are also now my family because you're amazing and you know, you're my friends. You keep me grounded, you know, keep me sane. I think a lot of people though like struggle with like family issues now, unfortunately. Well, I'm glad you have a super nice mom. She sounds awesome every time you talk about her. I'm like, wow, sounds like the coolest mom ever. My mom's actually like way worse than my dad as far as like how she treats me. I don't want to like unload all of this onto like everybody on stream. Let's just say I don't really talk to them anymore and it's for my mental health, so doesn't mean it doesn't still make me like really sad, but you know, you gotta have boundaries and you gotta protect yourself. You know, your own mental health and self love is the most important thing you can do as a person. That's okay. It's not your fault. Hey, you've never done me any wrong, so you know what? I'm just happy to have good friends. And like I said, Havoc's mom is awesome, so she's mom now. Yeah, both my parents are like earth signs and they're both boomers, so they've had there's something with that generation that I just don't know exactly like what happened to them to make them that way, but you know, this might just be a generalization, but like a lot of, you know, boomers that I come across are you know, there's something wrong with them and they just will not like get help with it. Like I really need therapy myself and I know therapy is incredibly expensive. So once I can afford a therapist, I'm gonna go get that taken care of, get that sorted out so I can, you know, be the person that I want to be and you know, continue to improve and just contribute good things to the world, which is what I try to do anyway. But having like actual like, you know, closure like emotionally would be fantastic. Would be chef's kiss. I think it's particularly worse for artists because, you know, we're usually very like empathic. So we feel a lot of like, we take emotional damage a lot harder from what I've noticed than a lot of other people. Like if we had RPG stats, like we would have that in like the negatives. Oh yeah, I didn't put the I gotta put the blush and stuff on the fingers where you'll be able to see the blood flow through it. So what we're gonna do a hard light layer with some red. And you want to do this also with people with darker skin as well. Everybody has blood. You know, we're all human beings, so you want to make sure that you do that to make sure that the skin itself has like life to it. It's a little harder to see because there's like you know, the lighting's pretty like extreme. But I still have included it. Like it's still there. So, you know, you want to put like a lot of red where the skin is either thinner, like if you shone a light through it, like you would be able to, you know, kind of see through it. And I also kind of like to put it around a lot of the shadows as like an edge. It's called like a Terminator. I learned that too from Mark Burnett, and it made such a difference in bringing life to my characters. I'm like, oh, they actually look like they're living, breathing beings. So now I'll go through and I'll take like a little, just like the airbrush, and just kind of lightly go around the edges of the shadows. And we're going to turn this effect like down, and then we're going to build it up from there too. Like, so it's not like overpowering. But anytime you color skin, you want to have that red, especially if it's like a human. If it's a character that isn't a human, whatever color their blood is, you know, if you decide to think about that, that's what you want to do, like at like, you know, these spots where light will shine through. It's called oh my god, what is it? I have the words. I say it all the time. Shit. I don't remember right now. There's a word for it. It's an art term. God damn it. I don't remember what it is. I'm sorry. I'm scuffed. Hey, Red, how's it going? Oil, not blood. Nice. You have a shiny, viscous blood. We're all robots here. We just don't know it. Also, hey, Louvre. Oh my god, I cannot speak today. I am so sorry. I apologize ahead of time. I was telling Pensy about this earlier. Like Mondays for me are just really hard to get like the gears turning and everything working like in a way that I can speak. And Lou, there we go. We'll go with that. I am so sorry. I just like even like reading stuff on Mondays, I'm just like I forget how to read or something. I don't know. The weekend takes the ability for me to speak. But yeah, just trying to finish up Luke's you know, one of my other friends on here, his OC, and then once I get done with this, I'm going to open a raffle system. That way, when I complete one of these, I can have a raffle for the next person to have a chance to get their OC done on my Monday stream. So if you guys gonna have any like OCs that you want done, I'll put up the post eventually, and then you can submit it on there, and you'll have a chance of getting your OC done. Let's see. So another thing I kind of want to do, I kind of hate it when I step away from like an artwork and then I come back to it and then I forget what I've already done for like different spots. Like I don't remember everything I did for the face here. Oh yeah, absolutely. I want, so I actually I have enough followers now to be a Twitch affiliate. So I am basically just waiting for the email from Twitch inviting me to like the program. So I'm gonna have more tools and opportunities for you guys to be able to like interact and whatnot. So I'm really excited about that. But much like, the quality of my streams will go up too, because not only will I have things for you guys to interact with, but I'll also start making some income. So I can like upgrade my PC, I can get a new model rigged, things like that, things that just improve the overall quality of the stream. So I'm really, really excited for that. I'm here to make the experience for everyone better. And, make everything, make life better for artists. So. It's so funny. The first time I ever heard Coheed and Cambria, I thought the singer was a woman, and then I saw them live, and I was like, "Who is this giant dude on stage? What is going on?" And then he started singing. I was like, "Oh my god!" I was so wrong. I love Coheed though. What's super cool about them is they actually started this band specifically to promote their comic book series, which is like really, really neat. And I'm trying to let it like build up to its conclusion, and then I'm going to get all the chapters and read them. But they've just been like extremely successful, like musically, which is also awesome that it all spawned from, a couple guys coming together to make a comic book and wanted to promote it. What we are. Good eye sniper. I shoot, you run. Along the walls. I definitely can't hit some Claudio notes here either. Claudio's got pipes that I just don't have, so. Bye, my beautiful. Don't bother to write. So we're gonna put a little bit of a rim light here. Place them up now. Place them up down. Both on the walls. You didn't have. Are you in? Are you out? I'm also a big nerd when it comes to music too, so. And they're calling all cars. Face up, down. Don't bother to write. I always wonder why like the lyrics were like kind of dark too. And now that I kind of know the context, a little bit of the comic book, I'm like, oh, I'm like, this sounds happy and you know, it's a bop, but then it's like this is like some intergalactic war stuff with like crazy politics and you know, assassinations and all sorts of things. So I'm just like, wow. Gives a whole new context to these songs once you realize what they're about. It's just like, whoa, okay. Oh man, I might yawn a lot today, guys. So I apologize if I end up spreading the yawns. I know they're contagious. Man, I can't wait to see what like more people submit for like their OCs once I get that raffle going. I think it's going to be a lot of fun as an artist to have like a big variety of things to like practice. Really push my creativity out of like, you know, comfort zones I wouldn't normally explore. Like I always had the ambition to do pictures like this where there's like a whole bunch of hands. Like I have a specific image in my mind that I want to do also for like Val for my webtoon, but it involves a lot of hands. So I'm just like I've been hesitant to do it. So this is like a good practice run here. Start building up the visual library and the dexterity, the muscle memory, I should say, for like the shapes and like where to place the shadows and the highlights, all that good stuff. Like I said, the bane of every artist is a hand. So something about it, like our brains just cannot compute. It's crazy because like you know you want to think of them as like being round, but they're actually not round. They're like more like rectangular and squared off and then rounded in like different spots. So like the tops of them are like really flat and rectangular, and then the bottom is kind of like where you get like the cylinder kind of shape. And it's really hard to convey that. Like Pensy says, why don't we just have all have like tentacles or claws or something, you know, things that are much easier. Jam our opposable thumbs. How dare evolution bless us with something that functions pretty well. Even though the apparently scientifically the ultimate evolution for all life is a crab. Crabs, the ultimate beings. Where does life end? It ends in crabs. Make sure that the fingernails. Oh, hold on. I didn't want the cat to like bust it open. Yeah. Yay, Havoc is back. Woohoo! Makes me happy. Trying to make sure they have fingernails. Because we all have those, right? At least some sort of representation of them. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. So this is one of my followers, Luke Talks VT. It's their OC. They had actually submitted this for like my art chair, and I really liked it was just line work. So I was like, hey, I would love to take your OC and I'd love to like render it into a full illustration. So they allowed me to do that. And also welcome for being here. Welcome to the stream. I appreciate it. But yeah, so this isn't my OC. What I've decided to do is I am going to open like a raffle system. Once I complete this one for people to be able to submit. And then my Monday streams, I will be working on people's OCs. And it'll give me lots of, lots of practice and that kind of thing. A lot of variety to my artwork. Did you have a good weekend? I was telling everybody else that I'm struggling to to function today on a Monday. I'm just like, something about Mondays just does not work vibe with me. Lazy since art block won't leave me. Oh, that's no good. What kind of things do you usually do to try to get over your art block, if you don't mind me asking? I might have some suggestions for you that might help you out. I just don't want to suggest something you already do, you know? This finger still looks kind of crazy, but I think it'll be okay. I think I can live with it. Oh, that's going out of bounds a little bit there. Let me make sure. Might have to come through and erase around the skin here. I don't want that to overlap a little bit here too. When I was doing my flats. Yeah, Mondays are OP for some reason when it comes to draining your energy reserves. Nice. Yeah, that's a lot of the same things I do. I need to go out and actually touch grass more. At least in nature. Like I try to stay away from like stores and whatnot because that just stresses me out. But yeah, that's some things I do. The what I was gonna suggest is when I have really bad art block, what I do is I go through my old artwork and I try to find something that's like, you know, would be like a fun little project to like maybe like update an OC with like my new skills just to like kind of gauge how much I've learned since then. And that usually breaks me out of my funk. Of course I watch anime, I read webtoons, like webcomics, you know, that kind of thing to get like inspiration. But definitely like taking older ideas and like revamping them with my new skill set is I find is usually the most helpful for me to get back into that the groove, the mindset to do art again. Gets me excited. I'm like, oh shit, this was like a good idea. I was cooking. You know, something that you might have thought was like garbage when you were younger, you go back and you look at it now that you understand more about art, and you're like, damn, young me had ideas. They were going somewhere with this and then they stopped too soon. Yeah, music is a big part of like my process too. Like you probably notice from my playlist, it goes all over the place. So don't mind the absolute randomness of genres being every single genre coming through. But it really helps me work. I can't work in like total silence. It drives me insane. My friends get so mad like when they ride in the car with me and I just have my playlist on random. They're like, "What the hell is this?" I'm like, "Hey, you shut up." All right, so we got that layer done. Trying to remember what I did for the face skin. I think I started working on like the actual light source and lighting, like the colors and everything. So that's probably what I should do next. The problem is I jumped the gun too early and I merged all those layers. I usually leave those layers like unmerged, so if I need to reference back to what I was doing previously, I, have the ability to do so. But also my computer sometimes is like, hey, you need to merge some of these layers, dude, because like it's getting intense here. I'm like, all right, computer, I feel you. I'll give you a little break. I love it, but I hate the taste. Yep, for sure. I definitely don't have like a monstrous PC or anything, so I gotta be mindful. And I add some more color variety into this with the lighting in a bit. Oops. Didn't have the right thing selected. Trying to remember how I did this with the face. Oh yeah. That sounds like a lot like mine. How my list goes. Do you also do artwork on your streams? I haven't had a chance to pop into any of your streams. Like usually when I get done streaming, like I need to decompress for a little while. But I need to get into a better habit of popping into like my follower streams to, hang out and see what you guys are doing and give you guys support. Because I don't want it to be like a one-way street kind of thing. That's not fair. We all have different schedules too, so I know that affects it as well. Let's see, so I need some blues in here. Just like a little bit. Let's maybe make the brush a little bit smaller. So we can kind of put it like maybe more in like the shadowed areas. Oh no, I saw my chat refresh there. I don't know if maybe I started to get like a little disconnected or what. Hopefully my internet's not acting up. That would be a no good. Let's see what other kind of colors we got in here. Probably should put like some purple a little bit. Just to have some variety here in the lighting. Before the dreaded block, I was doing mostly art either on my webcomic or if I get an idea for a piece or sometimes collab with my friend who recently got back to art. But I got addicted to Killer 7 really recently, but that's totally understandable. There's no pressure though. It does that. Okay, gotcha. What's the name of your webcomic? I'm gonna put a note in my phone so I can look it up. Or actually, you know what? I can just put it straight in. Do you is it on a webtoon? Like a line webtoon? Let's lower that opacity and duplicate it. Glow dodge. I have a webtoon as well, but I'm actually in the process of completely reworking it because I took like a really long hiatus and now my skill level has increased dramatically, so I don't want it to be like clashing. God King Zaibatsu. Gotcha. It's going through a reboot and I'm making under the name. Okay. Awesome. I will definitely keep it's still being worked on. I gotcha. OG Red Sun is still on Webtoon. Okay, cool. So let me at least look at your OG there. That way you get some eyes on it and whatnot. So let's see, reset and colon sun. Oh, there it is. Oh, it looks good already. I can't imagine what it's going to look like with the reboot then. You know what I mean? Here, I'll put my original one down here. If you want to look at it, it's going to be quite a bit better with my new skills, so. But I subscribed to your original there, so. Let's see, let's do add glow, and we'll do some more like lighting effects here. Let's do 30% and duplicate that and do glow dodge. Yeah, the story isn't going to really change. It's just I'm just going to be redoing the artwork. My wife Demon Demon Lord Havoc, who also streams, is the writer. Here, let me show you what the character looks like now, or at least one of the MCs looks like now that I've updated it. This isn't done. I was gonna finish up the rest of it on stream coming up, but all right, so that was the new concept that I came up for him. But I was working on also an illustration just to see if, you know, the concept would like translate into an illustration. Because you always want to make sure, like, you know, when you do the design. And that's how far I got on the illustration. It's not done yet. I still have to do like a lot of tweaking, make sure that, you know, it's not too busy and all that kind of stuff. So that's as far as I got. This is a lot of stuff I learned from watching Mark Burnett on YouTube. It's also a really good resource. I've been telling everybody else that, you know, if they really want to learn how to level up their artwork, they should definitely check him out. He's also hilarious. Like, I really like his personality a lot, too. All right, let's see here. So let's do gradient map. And I had found a skin gradient that I liked for this, and I can't quite remember which one it was. So I'm gonna have to go through my list of gradient stuff here. Oh yeah, he's amazing. I really. Oh yeah. Hold on one sec. Let me see if I can. See if I can find it on the actual site, if it'll. It's like weird, like you have to, for some reason, like you have to search raised to get it to come up. There you go. It's like really weird about like in the search for some reason. I guess it's because like I try to do like the anime ass thing where you put like the X in between. Maybe I should probably fix that. All right, these are kind of neat here. I don't remember which one I used. I think it might have been this one. I think it was that one. And then we can do a tone curve. Oh, I'm glad you like it. Like it's not like the original was like bad or anything. It's just I've gotten so much better since then, so. Trying to make this match the lighting without making the skin too light. There's a lot of like gloss and contrast when you're doing darker skin. So you want to make sure that there's a lot of brighter brights and darker darks. So, you know what I mean. That goes over the top. So I think I want a separate gradient map for the lighting. I think that'll look good. Gradient maps are always your friend. It will enhance like pretty much any artwork you're working on. So if you have a program where you have the ability to do gradient maps, make sure you hit them up because they will bring a ton of like life into your work. You just have to do a lot of like playing with like the different layer blending modes. Blah, 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 blah. Ooh, the holographic looks kind of good. Want to make sure there's a lot of variety in the colors on it. Maybe not soft light. What about hue? Ooh, hue looks kind of nice. I would just have to turn up the brightness a bit on it. Let's see. Hue saturation, luminosity. Can even do some hue shifting here and see how it looks. Ooh, no, we're not messing with that. So let's do luminosity. Let's turn it up a bit here. Maybe not that one. Let me try a different one. Sometimes it takes some tries to figure out exactly what you want to do for your lighting. No. But yeah, we have a whole lot planned for the webtoon. I'm gonna start doing the redone chapters on stream coming up soon. So once I finish that illustration that I just showed you, that's gonna be the next thing I start working on stream. Is gonna be doing the updated chapters. Yeah, hopefully, you'll enjoy it and then also maybe, learn something from my workflow. Or it might, inspire you to get over your art block. So I'm just here to help either way. Oh, that's kind of neat. Kind of like that. See how that looks as a soft light layer. Doesn't look as good as soft light. Let's do about a regular color layer. That's too intense. What about saturation? All right, hue looks fine. Yeah, they're so I've one thing I've learned since then is to turn down the saturation and work a lot more on like my values. I noticed that some of the heavy saturation with the colors, like it's still going to have the same color scheme, but they won't be quite as like intense. That way you'll be able to see everything that's going on really well. You got to worry about you got to like consider like readability when it comes to stuff like that, especially on such a like, most people are going to be reading it on their phones. So if it's too intense, it'll like a lot of the detail and exactly what's going on can get lost, like lost in the sauce. So like when I'm going to take this at the end and also and turn it all black and white. And then I'm going to check the values and zoom way out, from a distance to make sure that it still like reads. Let's see. I don't want that intense, maybe like 20. And then we're going to do lighten. I am happy that you like the colors though. The color choices are still going to be like pretty much the same. Oops. Put those like that and like that. Then we're going to take all of these and duplicate them, merge them together, and we're going to stick them over the lines here. And do this way. Bring that down a bit. Well, yeah, it's like, one of the art tips that I found that it's also really helpful too is like draw something or work on something and then step away from it for at least like a couple hours and then come back and look at it. And that way you can like, you have like a total reset on your brain and you can kind of like identify areas that you might want to like tweak or, you just have like a fresher perspective. Like you might be thinking you're doing something like completely amazing, and then you come back and you look at it and you're like, oh, I hate this. Especially when it comes to like, when you do the dreaded flip and you look at things and you're like, oh crap, I just flipped it and now it looks wonky. Like, what did I do? How did we get here? How has it fallen so low? I don't understand. All right. I think that's a pretty good spot for the hands. So, think what I want to do is I want to try to do like the bigger. You always want to try to work, at least I do, at least big, medium, small. So do yourself a favor and make sure that you get the bigger stuff done first and not like concentrate on like the little details, because otherwise it'll drive you nuts and you'll get burnt out. And what we're going to do is we're going to use a screen layer to do the detailing on the hair, because the hair is very dark, so it's going to be based on the sheen that's actually going to make it have the details. So I have references for these kind of braids here, so I can kind of like, see that there's like a diagonal like twisty kind of composition going on here with those. And do I have any other? Yeah, you can kind of see here that it's kind of this shape. And I don't want to alter their image too much, but normally when you have braids like this, there are these squares or rectangles which is the base of the braid, because it's pulled up from there and then separated. Which is also something I learned from white manga. He is a black mangaka and also one of the founders of Saturday AM. He's also super cool and will always respond to you, so make sure you guys check him out. But I learned a lot about doing African American hair from a lot of his videos, his manga, his tutorials and stuff. And the stories are really good too. You know, I know a lot of times like artists are like intimidated to do different textures of hair, but you just have to learn, you know, just take the time to figure out what the techniques for it are, and you'll be able to do it just fine. So I'm going to do just like a general kind of where the lighting is kind of gonna fall. It's not as scary as it seems. Oh, apple black. Yeah, I know what you mean. So I only like I bought the first uh Clock Striker manga. I haven't had a chance to get Apple Black yet, but I really want to you know, support them. So we're just doing kind of like generalized here just to start. You know, maybe get like the shapes because the head is round, so you want to like do these like curves. And then I'm gonna bring that down a bit, duplicate, and probably do like, I like to do glow dodge, but actually I think add glow is gonna work a little bit better for what we're doing. And now what we could do is we could start doing some of the detail again. So I'm going to do another screen layer. And I'm going to grab my brush. And I can't decide whether I want them like crisscross like this, or there's also this one too, where it's kind of like more fluffy. Looks kind of nice too, but it looks like it's kind of tighter because the way they have the hair, so it's more like these. I think I had a reference that was more of a close-up. So happy I found all these like dynamic hands references. There it is. We'll make this nice and big so I can kind of see. The handiest, indeed. I too like puns. So we're gonna kind of just start mapping out one of the crisscross points of it. Like that. And it looks like it still continues to do. Even as you go down, you kind of like go like that. And we're probably going to have to do a lot of like layering and building until this looks the way we want it to. And we don't have to do detail throughout the entire all the hair pieces, because you want to do like the rule of thirds where like, you know, 1/3 of it is like basically where the details are, so that way you're not driving yourself insane. Because you're just kind of like, you're using like values and shapes to kind of like imply things, you know. Doesn't have to be like one for one, especially stylized stuff. Oh my god, my brush was freaking out there. Because we're going to be doing like, we're going to be going back and forth with like light and dark over and over again until we get the right, till we get the braids to come into how they're supposed to look. Want some detail around her face here as well. This is also a good practice for me for my webtoon because we have lots of POC characters. And what I'm going to do is, it looks like there's a like where you can kind of cut back into it just a little bit like that, just a little subtly to show that they're kind of like almost like a bulb shape, kind of, if that makes sense. Like there's hair that's coming over top of the other hair. And then it's going to be places where like the shadow is going to kind of cut into it as well. Nice. Yeah, Cassie's one of my absolute favorites to work on. Oh, let me show you while you're here. I have an image I did of Cassie and Caius, her brother. So this was like a recent illustration I did of them. So you can see like big jump in how things look visually. I really like that I gave Caius like this like kind of like delinquent like pompadour thing here. I like delinquent characters, so he's a nice guy though. He's a super cool character. But yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited to work on it again as well. So we're gonna kind of erase away this direction on this side and this direction here. And again, a lot of the heavy lifting for this is going to be done by the gradient maps and the tone adjustments, like tone curves. Like not every detail has to be like, you know, hand done. You don't have to all do it manually. You can do like all sorts of things just to get the results you're looking for with adjustments after the fact. All right, let me zoom in on this. So what I can do is I need some that are kind of twisting around the other way, I think. Just a little bit like that. Kind of show that they're kind of overlapping like this. Kind of going like that. Again, I'm not trying to go overboard on it. Trying to just establish the shape. It's funny that a lot of people don't like impressionist art, but a lot of digital art takes a lot of techniques from impressionism, especially like in the social media age where a lot of these images are going to be viewed like very small. So you're basically just implying forms. Look at me sounding like I know what I'm doing. Oh yes, Professor Aniki here with some art history. Pushes up glasses. Now settle down now for your lecture. Oh. There's also like a lot of like creators on YouTube as well, um, that actually are, you know, African American that show you exactly how they do hair and everything and how they represent that, which is amazing. So we're gonna kind of just do some kind of like it's a little bit of a highlight, kind of. Yes, exactly. Now open your books to page 117. Oh. What is that? Yeah. It's funny too, because like I don't do these streams with the intention of doing like any sort of teaching. It's just sometimes I get a little rants about like what I'm doing. So definitely not a teacher. I'm just a dude doing art, and this is what I've learned, and this is what I like to do. So art should be fun. Fun, not frustrating. We're just gonna put some little bit of a some texture up there. Excuse me. Right, so take this, reduce it. We're just gonna keep like turning down the opacity and then doing different blending modes is what I like to do. And I think what I can do also now is I can start doing, maybe I'll take like my lighten and kind of go like this. So it's like more of the form, just kind of just bringing out the form as much as we can here and there. And then we're going to go back over it with some multiply later, and we're going to do like the shadow part of it. The only one who loses sleep that I've done. They are the rope around the neck, they are the blade burst to the wrist. Meaningless. And who knows, this might even not turn out the way I want to when I'm done with it. We'll have to adjust it. It's all trial and error. They are the rope around the neck, they are the blade plus to the rest. Mental, but it's meaningless. More, no less years. Yeah, it's starting to get there from a distance when you look at it. So now I think I need to go back through and do some shadowing on it again. Try to get the form for what we're looking for here. We want to make sure there's shadows like in between. Show that it's not just, that it's also casting shadows on it like each other. Like the front and the back, you know, that they're overlapping. Nice. Hell yeah. I'm glad you like it. He's August is very cheeky to put it. He's very confident in what he does. More but another one. He's saying that the number one. Yeah. Yak. Jubiat. Number one in my son daughter's life. Oh yeah, I know a lot of people are definitely gonna like August. Let's get him. Let's decapitate him. Of course, we want to have the shadowing from the hands and the fingers to be present. And one, but it's another one. Saying that's your number one. One gun, that's your number one trick. What five, what's your number one get? Quit. Let's get some thickness variety and make sure that they're have shadowing. Quit. Number one shape. What your number one get? Quit. Oh yeah, it's coming together. Hell yeah. There we go. It's looking pretty good. I am gonna do this where I turn it down and build it back up. I don't know, for some reason that just makes it like turn out better when I do like the tone adjustments. Let's see. So there probably should be some color, like a color layer here where it's like kind of reflecting the skin color a little bit. So, oh crap. I think I already merged that, didn't I? We can kind of borrow from this reference because it's close enough. So we're just gonna kind of put it around where it's where the skin is close to it because it's gonna reflect it a bit. It's kind of hard sometimes with like really stylized stuff to think of all the different things like you could do like in rendering to make it look good. Like I probably should also do I'm gonna do some blue as well. Kind of because of the uniform right here. All right, and I actually have a pretty specific gradient map I like to use for this. So let me go ahead. We're going to duplicate that color layer. We're going to see if this works out for this. We're going to put this on here. We're going to change it to soft light. Now we'll zoom way the hell out. So I want the highlights to be really apparent because that's probably the best way to get it to have the kind of contrast we're looking for here. And we can turn this back till we get the right like lighting. Maybe down a little bit there. Bring it back in some of the spots. Makes it look pretty like nice and shiny there. Actually, I want to see if any of these other blending modes might look better. Ooh, that's like really bright. Let's do, doesn't hurt to like look through these other ones just to see how they look. Ooh, hard light looks kind of nice. Kind of like that, actually. Then I can add some of this like lighting onto it. And I'm right between the eyes, and I'm right between the eyes. Actually, might use linear light. I think will look better. This goes and I'm right between the eyes. Between the eyes when you walk away, nothing more to say. I'm actually really happy with how this is turning out. I want it to be real light down here though. Closer to this light source. God knows his. Thanks. Appreciate it. So let's turn that down. I think we're going to build it up a little bit. A different, maybe glow dodge, and then duplicate and do maybe lighten. Nah. Vivid light. Ooh, vivid light looks nice. Actually, let's do this as another linear light, I think. There we go. That looks good. I did it. I achieved what I wanted to achieve. Woo! We're gonna merge that together. Some chromatic aberration, and then I like to do a lighten layer and Gaussian blur it, and then turn that down to like 30%. Then we can take this and duplicate them, merge them together, and we're going to stick them over the lines. Hard light, 50%. Duplicate, glow dodge, duplicate, lighten. And actually bring that lighten up. That's a little bit too much. So let's do 75. And darken just so we don't lose the lines completely. There we go. We got some hair. Oh yeah. Let's see. What do I want to work on now? I should save. That's what should. Oh, I did save. Woo. Let's see. What do we have left on the flats? Get the hair. Ah, we need the uniform details. So let's do that. On the Sunday outside now, but what I read between the lines, your lies. Feeling like I have a rusted chain. Don't do you laugh and don't see right? All right. See if we can get this looking a little metallic over here. Man on a southern tree. Oh, as I do all that on the wrong layer. All right. This is fine. We can work with this. And I need, excuse me, need a different color for the badge over here. And I'm not exactly sure what their little Galactic Space Force badge looks like here for this character, since it's not my character. So we're just gonna kind of just like make up something. Like there's like a little, there's some embossing on here. No, use the eraser. Wait, what am I doing wrong? Oh, I'm doing it on the wrong layer again. Oh, I'm so good at this, guys. Right. I can always do like a paint over at the end to fix like parts of it. So we're going to do that for details anyway. So it'll be fine. I'm not stressing about it. Although it's showing that I probably should take a break soon. So I think after these pieces here, I'm going to call it for the stream. And then what I'll most likely do is I'll finish this off stream, and I'll come up with the post for the raffle. That way people can participate. So we can give some other people a chance here to get their characters done. Again, we're just implying here that there is a reflective metal texture. Like normally what you would want to do is you'd want to kind of know what is in front of the character, at least have like a vague idea. So you can kind of make those reflections be similar to what's going on in front of them, because that's how metal reflects. It's whatever is directly in front of it. But we don't know that, so we are just going to work with what we got here. Yeah, like I was saying, like, I'll probably take like a couple hours away from this and then come back and look at it and see if I need to make any adjustments like when I go to work on it again. And since this is a metal surface, we want like some really contrasty like highlights here. So we get this what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my slightly softer brush first, do like this, like it has a little bit of transparency to it. And then I'm going to really pump this up in a sec here. And since this is actually a square brush, we can kind of do a little bit of it. Some of these areas here. And then I'm going to go back to this one. And I'm kind of do these like that. Trying not to go super crazy with it. It's always important though to make sure that not all of your materials look like they have like the same luminosity to them. Like with this badge down here, I'll probably even do some like some darker stuff. And then I'm gonna just use my smudge tool just a little bit here and there, so it doesn't look hella unnatural. Like that. Bring it down. Duplicate. We're gonna do glow dodge. And bring it down to probably like 30%. Now I kind of want to build that contrast back up again. So do that with a bigger kind of right here. Oh, that is not the color I wanted. Maybe not that intense. There we go. Smudge this out just a little bit right here. Down to like 20% and build it back up. Then we're gonna find a really cool metal gradient map. which I do have. Oh crap, I forgot I have the tie on the same layer there, so I'll have to go back and fix that in a sec. Mm. That one's kind of neat. Let's put it on soft light there, because that kind of goes with our lighting too a little bit. And give it also some other passes on different things, see what they look like. Maybe, how's pin light look? Pin light looks kind of crazy. I kind of like that, actually. Like it's a little detailed, but that's okay. Kind of zoom out here, and then we can pump the contrast. Kind of like push it in different places. Kind of want to make the shine really bright since it's real close to the light source. I think that actually looks pretty good. Kind of like how it's got like texture in there now. It's kind of neat. So we'll do this. Where's that? I am actually going to duplicate it. And since I accidentally had stuff on that layer that I didn't want, I'll have to come back and do the tie. So I'm going to actually go ahead and label that so I know what it is. All right, let's do some chromatic aberration. And turn this to lighten. Ooh, that kind of looks good. Blurred just like that, actually. Yeah, I think we're gonna roll with that. I think that looks good since it's really close to the light source. I can duplicate, merge. And we can put we're gonna put it under the hair, the hands line, sorry. Because it's kind of back a little bit more. Hard light, 50%, 20%, duplicate, footage, duplicate, lighten, and then we'll do a darken as well. I think that looks pretty neat. Oh yeah. All right, let me bring this off to the side here and save. And then I'll put it nice and big on the screen so everybody can see. So this is how far we got for today. I am actually going to finish this off stream. That way it's not like, too many streams without giving anybody else, a chance to have their OC on here. I'm going to work on putting up the raffle probably either today or tomorrow. You'll definitely see it this week for sure. Let me go ahead and stick you guys in the lobby and then we can wrap this up. Hey, you're very welcome. I enjoyed talking to you. It's real fun to especially another webtoon creator to make connections with and make friends with. And I hope you show up to more of my streams, and I'll try to pop into yours if I see you come up and I have some free time there and hang out. I want to thank everybody else as well for being here. You guys are super awesome. If you're just lurking, I appreciate you just as much as everybody who chatted. Also, hello to everybody who's going to be watching this later on YouTube on the VODs. I appreciate you guys as well. I will be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time again. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, blah, blah, blah. And if you're not following me, go ahead and give me a follow when you see when I go live. Bye, bye, bye.